Think of the world you're in, though. What you're talking about now is a world of desired state configuration as well, on top of this, where you're saying, oh, you made this change, and I can tell it was a bad thing. Let me go back. Because right now, desired state is more like, oh, I just see you're not in the right configuration thing. Imagine if I know you're not the same, but you might be better. Or if you get worse, I'll roll you back. You're going to change how we do IT operations.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal.
And Carlo, you said something interesting, which was you've looked at a lot of customer data, and many of you are the regular viewers of SolarWinds Lab are also really heavily involved in THWAC, our user community, and our UX programs and RC programs. So you did work with a number of customers with a lot of different types of data, right?
Yeah, fortunately, our customers at SolarWinds are really friendly, and they're able to share us anonymous data, and we're able to take that anonymous data and run our different data science and machine learning algorithms against. So a big thanks to our users out there for sharing your data with us. You have made the machine learning in DPA and other products much, much better because of it.
Oh, hey, before I forget, and I love just looking at graphs and dots and lines and all that. Some of the lines are straight. And
they're orange.
And they're orange. This is all great, but you know what we really should show them? Is how this looks inside of Orion. We just show them perf stack and DPA.
Because it's really complicated and it's really hard to understand. So.
Yeah, no, it's not that hard.
All right,
even you'll understand it. Okay, so what Carlo has in front of him here is Orion, and we've integrated this particular database server, right, using DPA-IM, right? We've integrated DPA and Orion together, and so now you're going to get this lovely new wait time status inside of your perf stack. So if you're building a nice perf stack dashboard report, and now you're wondering, hey, tell me something about the actual database server here. I want to know if there's an anomaly with regard to the wait time status.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. No problem. So we tried to make this, per Patrick's comment earlier, as complex as possible. So what we have here is the different statuses of the database as it goes throughout time. And here you see there was a red status and a yellow status. And these are the anomalies that we're detecting. These are the key indicators that you'll just be able to come in, look at this chart and say, where it's yellow, this is where we're at that 2 sigma threshold of warning, and where it's red, that's where we've detected a critical anomaly that we believe is atypical for your environment.
So there could be some anomalies sprinkled all along the green line, but these are the particular ones that the machine learning has identified are important.
Exactly. And so what this allows you to do is quickly find a point in time on the perf stack chart of what an anomaly, or when an anomaly happened, and then ultimately what other things were going on within your environment.
So normal, if you look at this top, the total instance wait time that you're looking at on the top, right? You see you got bigger bars, and usually we tell people big bar means bad, right? So, but here's the thing. I've got an anomaly. I've got something red on one of the shorter bars. Something was different at that point in time, but if you look at the overall trend, it would be hidden.
Yep. And that's the beauty of the machine learning, is that it's learned that low is normal for that point in time of that part of your season or that part of your day or that part of your week. And because it was expecting low, it sees high, that's anomalous. So an anomaly might be triggered on a bar that's not as high as the rest of them, but because it's strange for that particular time, that's what makes it the anomaly.
Now, how does it look in DPA?
Excellent question. Let's jump over to DPA and take a look at some of the great charts within Database Performance Analyzer that show you the anomalies as well. So here you see a classic DPA wait time chart that you are all familiar with the different queries and how much wait time we're seeing. And we've added below a new chart that shows you what those anomalies are and when they're happening. So 0 in this chart is basically what we're predicting. We're predicting a specific value for this particular point in time, and then the green is how much above or below you are for that particular time, and if it goes too high above or even potentially too far below, that's an anomaly for your point in time. So here you see within this particular bar, green ends at this point, and yellow is then a small portion of that. So we have a fairly small standard deviation, and then anything above that is going to be red. And that width changes throughout time. So you see that each of these yellow and red bars can happen at different levels depending on the time of day.
But this is good. This is showing me an aggregate. So this is all the queries. So basically, out of 14, 15 hours of wait, 10 of it was normal, an hour and 42 was in the warning range, and you had 3 hours worth of queries that were anomalous.
Correct.
So that could be one query, it could be 100 queries.
Yep. And that's what's going to point you to dive into the detailed data and actually find out what was going on at that point in time. Was it one particular query? Were you running hundreds of little queries that added up to your wait time? And that's the finger pointing that we're trying to do here.
So there's a ton of deviation data here. So why not use whisker charts, for example?
That's a great question. So we tested a bunch of different user experience charts with lots of the users out there in SolarWinds land, and this was the feedback that we got, that this was the easiest to understand, that you come in, you look at this chart, there's red, that means it's bad, there's yellow, that means it's almost bad, green is good. So this chart actually tested best with our users.
And I noticed you have this green one way low, but it's not red. It's not. I don't think we do critical for things that are really low.
Correct. For this version, we decided that we're going to allow everything that is too low to just be green, that when your database is performing okay and there's less wait time, that's not as critical as higher wait time.
Okay.
So it's definitely in our future where we could start showing too low of predictions are anomalies, but today we are showing only high thresholds as the true anomalies.
No one has ever complained that anomalies are low, so that's okay.
Nobody has ever complained that the database or the website is too fast.
But I'm going to move off it just for a second, just to show. But you see, on that day, it looks like maybe somebody turned the server off. So, yeah, that's a different anomaly. But this is where we're heading with the tools, is the understanding of what's really causing it. So in the future, we might see this and then be smart enough to say, hey, something's really different here. Was the server even on? And we have all the data through all the different products, so we're going to be able to get to that point of giving you that intelligence.
Right.
But when the first time I saw this, I was almost, I don't want to say disappointed, but I'm, usually deviation and kind of calculation methods and the algorithm that's producing the data are presented as part of the chart. And at first I was like, well, this is just green, yellow, red. It's to draw my attention to there's a problem. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, if you put all of the deviation data and everything else up here, and then you use that data to figure out its anomaly, that's not machine learning, that's human learning.
Yeah.
So the whole point is that it should be able to produce at a glance. It's doing the work of telling you that that thing is an unusual circumstance that you need to pay attention to.
Remember what I always say. DPA gives you charts that even managers can understand.
We like managers.
I've yet to have anybody in the meeting just say, I don't understand what the bar chart is communicating to me. So what you've said is true. People, especially data science people, they want the formulas, they want all the math and all that. But this isn't built for necessarily a data scientist to use. This is built for a network administrator to say, I really need to call somebody, or it's always been that way, or why is the server off?
Or I just want to solve it and go on to the next.
I just want to solve it and I have to move on to the next one. Right, it's bar charts.